Welcome back to another edition of the Keto Journey. I am your host Jermaine, and today we are going to talk about temptations. Now, before I get into today's topic at hand, I want to talk about what went down last week in conjunction to the journey, just everyday stuff, and then we'll go into the temptation part of this video. So last week it was business as usual. I had keto-friendly breakfast, dinner, and lunch Monday through Friday. Yep, I stayed under my calories, I stayed within my macros, life was good. Saturday and Sunday, Gracie and I decided to take a little us time to reconnect and just hang out and enjoy us. Because sometimes when you have kids, you lose that one-on-one time because you're busy raising the kids, which is not bad, but it's always good to get back together just to reconnect. That one-on-one time is important. So I encourage, if you're married and you have kids and you haven't had one-on-one time in a while, try to find at least an hour or two to have that time. Luckily, we had a good 24, 26, 27 hours to ourselves, and it was awesome. So Saturday, we went to the mall, perused a little bit. We didn't buy anything. Got a little walking in there. Got in the pool, which is something that's new to me. If you're new to the channel, I used to avoid the pool until I lost a lot of weight, and now I feel a little more confident. That's neither here nor there. There's one video, I don't know which one, did I go into that more in depth. But I got in the pool. We also had dinner, which for the most part was keto friendly, except for the adult beverages, which I had two of, and also the dessert. Usually when we go out to eat, we have one thing that isn't keto friendly, just because food for us is happy times. It's time for us to unwind. I know we shouldn't associate feelings with food, but we were good the entire week, so we let ourselves splurge a little bit on dessert. Sunday, what did we do Sunday? Oh, we actually worked out in the morning. There was a treadmill, of course, at the hotel, so I ran on a treadmill. Speaking of which, before I get into any more, there's this special treadmill that you can get that only moves when you move. So if you're running 6 miles an hour, the treadmill's keeping up. If you stop, the treadmill stops. I think it's called a skill mill. That can't be it. It's awesome, and I want one, but I looked it up and it's $9,000. So unless I win the lotto, that's not gonna be happening anytime soon. Anyways, that was the weekend. We splurged a little bit, and that got me thinking about something that I take for granted, and that's temptations. When you are on any diet whatsoever, if you're trying to watch what you eat, if you're trying to lose weight, for some of us, temptations are prevalent in our life, and they come in the form of food, whether it be sugar like desserts or pasta, bread, stuff of that nature. Temptations are something you have to learn how to deal with and learn how to overcome if you are on any diet, but specifically I'm going to talk towards the keto diet. Now, there have been times when I've been at work and it's Donut Friday or whatever random day people decide to bring food in, and I'm sitting there in front of the bagels, in front of the donuts, just looking, thinking, right there, deciding, do I want to do this? Now, before you overcome any temptations, the first thing you need to do is actually talk to yourself before you indulge. Get in front of the donuts. I know it's going to be hard because they're right there in front of you and it doesn't take much to just reach out and grab it, but sit there and think, why am I not eating this? Go over whatever your list is. For me, it's because I know carbs put on the pounds for me, and carbs make me feel like nowadays. So I know if I eat that donut, it's not going to stop at 1. It's probably going to stop at 2 or 3. So for me, I know if I start eating a donut, it's no telling where it's going to end. So that's why I personally don't do it. Number 2, you need to be okay with not eating that donut. And remember that you're not doing it because somebody's telling you not to do it. Because I'm a defiant person. I really do not like to be told what to do. So if someone said, hey, don't eat that donut, I'm probably going to eat that donut. It's only hurting myself, but something in my head makes me think that defiance is awesome or bad at, I don't know. But that's what happens with me. So I know when you're going through temptations, number 1 rule is ask yourself why you're not going to do it, or ask yourself why you want to do it, and see if the pros outweigh the cons. And if you're in a position where you're like, you know what, I'm eating this donut, know that you have consequences with that. And that's what all temptations are about. They are temptations, they're called temptations because inherently they're bad. I mean, think of any temptations you want right now, and you can think of the pleasure part, and you can also think of the bad part. So for me, temptations are bad in my book, and I try to avoid them at all costs. Yes, there have been times where I've been sitting in front of those donuts and I went for one, and that was a bad day for the rest of the day. So I remember those experiences. I remember what I did to get to where I'm at now, and 9.5 times out of 10, I avoid those temptations. So that's just a little insight on how I personally avoid temptations. I know there's probably a million different ways you can do it, but as long as I ask myself why I want to do it, why I'm not doing it, I usually come out in the end not doing it, and I go back to my desk and drink a gallon of water to try to forget about the donuts. So that's it. I was all over the place with this one. I should have written down my steps, but you know, it's late. It's Monday. I usually shoot on Sundays, but I wanted to get this out. It was weighing on me. It was something I was thinking about over the weekend because there was a point where I was this close to getting chicken and waffles. And that reminds me, the other part about temptations that you need to remember is have somebody in your corner that's actually fighting for you. Somebody that believes in what you're doing, and somebody who will be the voice of reason when you are trying to sabotage yourself. Luckily, Gracie was there for me on Sunday. When I sat down, I immediately eyes drawn to the waffles, chicken and waffles. That's my weakness, and it's a new place. So I was like, I gotta have that. And I think all she said was, really? Do you really want to have that? Think about it. And that was it. That's all it took. And I was like, all right, yeah. I don't want to have to run extra to burn off these carbs, so I'm not doing it. So to reiterate, number one, ask yourself those questions. Why am I not doing this? Why am I doing this? Number two, have somebody in your corner that has your back. Simple as that. Maybe. I don't know. It's worked for me so far, and hopefully something of that nature, some mixture of that information will work for you. So I'm not going to do a weigh-in this week, mainly because I don't feel like it. I really don't have a good reason. I think I'm up a pound for sure, but that's a pound nowadays is the difference between eating a lot before a weigh-in or drinking a lot of water before a weigh-in or running or not running or pooping or not pooping. Thank you for sticking with me on this journey. It is far from over. I'm still targeting that 233 goal weight. Eventually I'll get there, and if not, I've been feeling great. I've been looking great. I have a higher energy level nowadays, so everything is in order. So we'll cross that bridge when we have to. Next week, I have no idea what I'm going to shoot. 4th of July is coming up, so there's another opportunity to practice your temptation tactics, to avoid those temptations rather. And I'm sure I'll shoot something. Maybe I'll shoot something on the beach. Maybe shoot something with the family. I have no idea. But I know another video will be happening, and I'll be here next week. Hopefully you will be too. And until next week, as always, keep it keto.